Hey everyone, how you doing today? Hey, listen, today is the day that I answer more of your viewer questions. You guys seem to really like this series that I'm going to be doing on a more regular basis now, at least once a week. I want to put one of these out there because the questions my clients ask are such good questions, and I figure this is good information for all of my viewing audience. All right, so first of all, AT writes, my wife and I are looking for a beachfront property in Secret Beach. I know based on your videos, there's not a lot available, but how do we stay informed about what becomes available? All right. So number one, I would suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Almost all of the really good deals that come to me that I list end up going to my YouTube channel unless they're sold internally before they hit the open market. If you want to get on a list of people that gets that information before it goes public, then I can send you the link to subscribe to my members only platform. This is a free platform. There's no charge to it. But by becoming a member, you're able to see deals that come out before they hit the public market. So normally I'm in a position to give my clients 48 to 72 hours to look at the maps, look at the pricing, the terms of the deal, if there's financing on it, and they can make a decision before it goes out to the to go into the world. So if you want to do that, let me know. I'll send you the link, and we can get you part of the members only platform. Your goal is to build a house for your family, 3 to 4 bedroom, but you're interested in having it generate income as well. Fantastic. So what I would recommend then is that you go with a home that you would want to enjoy, you as a family, but also give some consideration to what the rental market would like to see as part of the home as well. So there's videos that I put out before about what you should consider incorporating into your rental unit. I have a whole list of things that you should consider with your builder. If you're building a property specifically for the rental market, I'll leave that for another topic, but definitely get with me on that because there's certain things you're going to want to incorporate it that makes it more valuable to a renter that you might not have thought about before. Other questions, how is the lagoon side versus the seaside? From photos, it looks nice, but is it nice enough for swimming? So I'm going to answer this question last because I want to pull up a Google Earth map to show you exactly what the East Coast of the island is like compared to the West Coast. All right, so you have East and West Coast, but then you also have this internal lagoon waterway. I don't think you're referring to that. I think you're referring to Ambergris Bay, but I want to show you all three areas, East Coast, Lagoon, and West Coast, and how they differ from each other. How long does it typically take to build a 2-story home? From the time you go, you pull the trigger and you give your builder everything they need to kick off the project, and they're able to, put some shovels on the ground. It's going to take for a nice 2-story home, probably move-in ready, about 9 months. All right. So a lot of that's going to be determined in how many times you start and stop the project and how regularly you're feeding money into it. So for example, if the builder, gets a certain percentage done and you fly down to see it, and then you have a discussion with the builder and you want some things changed, obviously that's going to delay the project. Or if he has a payment coming due and there's a delay in getting a payment, then that can severely delay the project because now he's got to pull his guys off your house, go to another house, and that can cause some issues. But if everything's in order, you got a good builder you're working with, everything's set, I would say, let's say 9 months to move in ready on a 2-story home. The approximate cost to build. Okay, so that has gone up quite a bit since the pandemic, no doubt about it. And that kind of feeds into your second question regarding concrete or wood. In the past, we saw quite a big difference in price between wood homes and concrete homes. And that's why when Mahogany Bay Village first started to be built, you saw mostly wood construction. And I will note too that that wood construction was built to withstand some pretty severe winds and hurricanes. So the plans that were developed for all of the Hilton Hotel, which is made entirely out of wood, and for many of the wood homes there are built very, very strong, able to withstand some pretty strong hurricanes. But what's happened recently is the cost of wood has gone up so much that now people are sort of looking and saying, you know what, if I can get a home built out of concrete for almost the same price, or maybe just a little bit more, I think I'm going to go with concrete. And I think it's a good idea. Concrete's going to be much more durable. You're going to have less maintenance with concrete. Certainly your insurance rates will go down because there's two different rates if you're insuring a wood home compared to a concrete home. So if you can afford it, I would definitely go with concrete these days. It's not much more than building out of wood. In the past, I'm talking like maybe pre-pandemic prices, I would tell my clients, say a good rule of thumb would be 175, 180 US a square foot for concrete. Right now, I'm looking at more like 225. So 225 US dollars per square foot. And again, a lot depends though on your interior space compared to exterior space, your finishes, what kind of tile, what kind of countertops, all that kind of good stuff. And one thing I will tell my clients is, even if you're looking at a 3 to 4 bedroom home, try to economize on the interior portion under air. Keep that as, I don't want to say as small as possible, but as functionally small as possible, but then go with some larger outside entertaining areas. So for example, if you had a 1,200 square foot home under air, maybe 3-4 bedroom, but then on the rooftop of that home, have a very large 1,200 square foot outdoor living area, you double the size of the home, but you didn't necessarily double the size of the build cost because you're using that exterior space. So try to look to incorporate larger decks, porches, verandas, rooftop areas that will add a little bit more to the cost, but get you a lot more usable space. So how many homes are built in the Secret Beach area that are on the rental market? There are not many on Airbnb, simply because there's not very many built yet. So we got Keith's house and Jason's house. You're going to see both of those. If you go to Airbnb, those are both really nice standalone single family homes. And from what I know, they rent very, very well. I know the owner, Keith, of the white 2-story one, very good. I know of Jason, we've never met in public, but we have exchanged a lot of text and emails. I think both are very well rented, and both are very high quality builds. There's some smaller casitas for rent around there, and there's the Casanova Boutique Hotel project. Again, beautiful, beautiful project. So there are several things to see, but overall, you're right. The Secret Beach area does not have a lot of Airbnbs that are built, furnished, and on the market at this time. All right, so let's go to your question, back to your question about the Lagoon side, east side, west side, all that kind of good stuff. And I think this will help a lot of my clients too, who have never been to the island, sort of get a lay of the land. So let me pull up, there we go. So let me zoom out. I was looking at some lots up north for another client. I'm going to zoom out completely and then zoom in just a little bit. All right, so what are we looking at here? From the bottom of your screen, you see the tip of Ambergris Caye. On the northern part of your screen, the upper part, you see this little yellow line. That is the little canal, little channel that separates Ambergris Caye here from Mexico right here. All right, so from tip to tip, Ambergris Caye is about 25 miles long. Now, the east coast, what you see to the right of your screen, that's the Caribbean Sea here. And then you see this white line. That is the second longest barrier reef in the world. So that's the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef. And that is where the world-class snorkeling, diving, fishing is located. Just beautiful. I mean, this reef is just full of life and coral and fish, and just absolutely stunning. Now, one thing I will note regarding swimming is that when you zoom right in, let me see how far I can zoom in here. All right, so you see the reef. Let me just go to the shorelines. I'm just going to pick an area here. No particular area. But you see how it gets a little darker here as it goes up to the shoreline. That's because this area is very, very shallow. You're talking a foot, maybe a couple feet. And so there are very, very few areas of the East Coast where people will actually set foot in the water and then swim on these beaches. There's a lot of turtle grass there. It's just not conducive to swimming. Some of the resorts have cleaned up at least a portion of their beach in order to make it swimmable. So for example, if I just go down here to, let's see, what can I use as an example? Yeah, maybe somewhere around here. So they've done a pretty good job. Indigo, you can see it's a little clear here. But basically, very, very few people swim off the East Coast. All right. If they want to swim, they'll use the hotel pools or they'll take a kayak out here to the reef where there's just, it's amazingly clear water. All right. So that's the East Coast. Now, if we go all the way over to the West Coast, well, before we do that, let me just pause real quick and go to the lagoon. So then you have this body of water, which is right here in the center of the island. All right. Now it's called the lagoon, but it's an open waterway. So it's open to the west side. This is the west side here. This is Ambergris Bay. And then you have these cuts down in here that lead into the lagoon. So this big, large open lagoon area here is accessible to the west side through these cuts. Or if you go under the bridge, which is located right here, then you could access the East Coast. All of this water in here, I think it's a really good area to invest, 100%, because you're on the water. And a lot of people are looking to keep their boat or their jet skis, or they just want to be on the water and then have access to the other parts of the island that are more desirable as far as swimming goes. But there's not a lot of swimming that takes place inside this interior lagoon. It's beautiful, but it's not really swim worthy or swim quality water. But this little lagoon here goes all the way up into the Grand Belizean Estates, Grand Mine area, even just past a little bit up into here. All right, so that's what we call the lagoon. Now, the west coast of Ambergris Caye overlooks Ambergris Bay. All right, so this is a very large bay, the mainland of Belize. In fact, I can just draw you a little. Let's see how far it is here. You can't see it because it's so flat, but it is 11 miles across. All right, so this entire area is called Ambergris Bay. And what makes that a little bit different, because you were asking about beachfront, is if on this side we zoom into the shoreline, all right, we see that it is clear right up to the shore. So this dark area that you see, that's just more like surface limestone. So that's not muck or seaweed or anything. That's just limestone right at the surface. All right, because you can see on this side, it's clear all the way. This side of the island also does not get any sargassum grass. All right, so we do have the sargassum on the East Coast. There is no sargassum that washes up here. So this side of the island is much, much better for swimming. All right, so you were asking about this lot that we have here for 125, parcel number 8533. I would 100% recommend this lot at that price, knowing that your guest will be able to literally walk 30 seconds to these beaches. All right, so it's absolutely stunning, beautiful. In fact, all beaches in Belize are open to the public. So I would recommend that lot if you're looking for an affordable lot. It's not beachfront, but it is, again, third row back. You'd have great views. And I think it's one of the best deals that we have right now. All right, so listen, hope this is helpful. If you have any other comments, questions, concerns, let me know. I'll be happy to get back to you. And if you have questions that you haven't been able to find answers to yet, let me know. Send me an email. I'll share share your email with my viewing audience. Keep your name confidential. And then hopefully we can make some progress here in you moving forward to be able to make some sort of investment in Belize that works good for you and your family. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.